My name is Ahmed, and this is the most emotional story of my life. 5 years ago, there was a girl named Ayesha who completely changed my world. She wasn't just someone I loved, she was the person who made every day feel special. Her smile could brighten my darkest moments, and her voice always brought peace to my heart. We met during our college years. At first, we were just friends. We studied together, shared jokes, and spent hours talking about our dreams. As time passed, our friendship slowly turned into love. Those were the happiest days of my life. We would meet after classes, walk through the nearby park, and talk about our future. We dreamed of building a life together someday. I truly believed that one day, Ayesha would become my wife. But life had other plans. One afternoon, I tried calling her, but she didn't answer. I sent messages, but there was no reply. At first, I thought she was busy. A day passed, then a week, then a month. Still nothing. I became worried. I visited places where we used to meet. I asked our mutual friends if they had heard from her. Nobody knew much. Some people said her family had suddenly moved to another city. Others claimed she had left college. No one could tell me exactly what had happened. It was as if she had disappeared without a trace. I refused to give up. For months, I searched for her everywhere I could. I checked social media, contacted old classmates, and even traveled to places where I thought she might be living. But every effort ended in disappointment. Eventually, I had to accept that she was gone. The following years were difficult. Although I continued with my life, a part of my heart remained stuck in the past. I completed my education and found a good job. My career was growing, and people around me believed I was doing well. But they didn't know how much I missed her. Every time I heard our favorite song, I thought of Ayesha. Every time I visited the park, where we used to spend time together, memories came flooding back. Many people encouraged me to move on. Some suggested that I start a new relationship, but my heart wasn't ready. I never stopped wondering what had happened to her. 5 years passed, 5 long years. Then one rainy evening, everything changed. I had just finished work and was heading home when heavy rain began pouring down. To avoid getting soaked, I stepped into a small coffee shop near the city center. The place was warm and quiet. I ordered a coffee and sat near the window, watching the rain fall outside. As I looked around the cafe, my eyes suddenly stopped on a woman, sitting alone at a table across the room. My heart nearly stopped. It couldn't be, but it was Ayesha. After 5 years, she looked more mature than before, but her eyes were exactly the same. For a moment, I thought I might be imagining things. I stared at her in disbelief. Finally, I gathered enough courage to walk toward her table. My hands were shaking. My heart was racing. When I reached her, I softly said her name. Ayesha. She looked up. For a few seconds, she simply stared at me. Then her eyes widened. Ahmed? The moment she said my name, I felt a wave of emotions rush through me. She stood up from her chair. Neither of us knew what to say. 5 years of memories stood silently between us. Then tears appeared in her eyes. And suddenly tears appeared in mine too. We sat down and began talking. At first, the conversation was awkward. So much time had passed. But slowly, everything started to feel familiar again. Finally, I asked the question that had haunted me for years. Where did you go? Ayesha took a deep breath. She looked down for a moment before answering. Ahmed, I never wanted to leave you. My heart tightened. Then why did you disappear? Tears rolled down her cheeks. My father became seriously ill. We had to move immediately to another city for his treatment. Everything happened so quickly. I lost access to my phone, and our financial situation became very difficult. I listened carefully. For years I had imagined countless possibilities, but I had never imagined this. She continued, I tried many times to find you later, but by then we had both changed cities, and I couldn't locate you. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. For years we had both been searching for each other, yet fate kept us apart. I looked for you too, I said quietly. Ayesha smiled through her tears. I know, somehow I always felt that you would. We spent hours talking that evening. We shared everything that had happened during the last 5 years. We talked about our struggles, our achievements, and the memories we had never forgotten. By the time we left the coffee shop, the rain had stopped. For the first time in years, the emptiness inside my heart had begun to disappear. After that day, we started meeting regularly. At first, it felt strange. 5 years is a long time, but little by little, we rebuilt our connection. It was as if our love had been waiting patiently for us all along. One evening, we visited the same park, where we had spent countless hours during college. We sat on a bench beneath a large tree. The setting sun painted the sky with shades of orange and gold. I looked at Ayesha and asked, Did you ever forget me? She smiled softly. If I had forgotten you, I wouldn't have recognized you the moment I saw you. Her answer made me laugh. Then she added something that touched my heart deeply. I never stopped loving you, Ahmed. For a moment I couldn't speak. Those were the words I had dreamed of hearing for years. I gently held her hand. I never stopped loving you either. Months passed. Our relationship became stronger than ever. This time we understood each other better. We had experienced loss, loneliness, and uncertainty, and those experiences had taught us the true value of love. Eventually, I introduced Ayesha to my family again. She met my parents, and they welcomed her warmly. Her family was happy too. Everyone could see how much we cared for each other. A few months later, I proposed to her. With tears of happiness in her eyes, she said yes. Our engagement was one of the happiest days of my life. As I placed the ring on her finger, I remembered the years we had spent apart. The pain, the waiting, the uncertainty, and I realized that every difficult moment had led us back to each other. A year later, we got married. On our wedding day, as I watched Ayesha walk toward me in her beautiful bridal dress, I felt overwhelmed with gratitude. The girl I thought I had lost forever was finally standing beside me. She was no longer a memory. She was my future. That night, after all the celebrations were over, we sat together under the stars. Ayesha rested her head on my shoulder and smiled. Maybe we needed those years apart to understand how much we truly loved each other. I looked at her and nodded. Maybe. Then I squeezed her hand and said, "But one thing is certain." "What is it?" she asked. I smiled. "I will never let you go again." She laughed softly and held my hand tighter. As I looked up at the stars, I realized something important. True love can be delayed. It can be tested. It can even disappear from sight for years. But when two hearts are meant for each other, love always finds its way back.